Hello my beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Mawazo and thank you so much for watching this video. If you're a new subscriber, welcome home, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back and feel free at home. In this video, I'm gonna talk about Kevin Samuels' death. And guys, I didn't want to make a YouTube video about his passing, but the comments and responses that I got on my TikTok is what prompted me to make this video. Kevin Samuels was a controversial YouTuber and a relationship guru slash an image consultant who gave Black women advice on how to get valued men. Kevin Samuels passed away on May 6 in his Atlanta apartment after he complained of chest pain, and he collapsed on top of a woman who he had picked up from a restaurant or a club a day before his passing. After collapsing, the woman that was with Mr. Samuels, who is reported to be a nurse, called 911 and performed CPR on Mr. Samuels, trying to revive him, but she couldn't. The news of Kevin Samuels' death was confirmed by his mother, Beverly Samuels, who also said that she found out about her son's passing on social media, and she blames social media for reporting this issue so early. Mr. Samuels gave people advice on how to get a good man and how to stay married, but he had two failed marriages. I don't know if he has kids or not. I found out, I think I was on Instagram on BET something, when I found out about his passing, and I decided to make my own video to spread the news or pay tribute to whatever. And I captured something like, whether we like it or not, Mr. Kevin Samuels was an inspiration to many. We shouldn't judge the dead, and many people were not happy in my comment section. And I said that because I didn't want to attract negative energy. The water is already spilled on the floor and it cannot be picked up. And some people were not happy that I said that we shouldn't judge the dead when the person that just died was judging the living. And I decided to say that on my post because whether we judge him now or not, he wouldn't know what we are saying. It would have been better if we could judge him when he was alive, when he was making his videos. If the video pisses you off, you just have to respond to him directly and wait for his response. Because judging him now, it will only affect his family, it will affect his mother, because nobody wants their family member who is already passed on to be talked about in the negative way. That is why I said we shouldn't judge him. He is facing God now, and God is the only one that can judge him. He is the only one can judge us, even the living. He's the one that can judge us. And a lot of people didn't like that, but that is what I stand for. I'm not gonna judge the man. Yes, we can all agree that the man said a lot awful things about women, and maybe in his eyes he was trying to help women, but his way of delivering the message was harsh. He was condescending to women. He was disrespectful sometimes, because sometimes he would just cut you off, and sometimes he was right on the things that he was telling the women. And I did not agree with the man 100%. I was not even his fan. Like, I never watched like one of his entire videos. A few clips that I saw of his were from TikTok. So I was not a big fan of the man, but I knew him from clips that I saw on TikTok. Yeah, and I didn't like what he said about women being leftovers, women over 30 being leftovers. That was not good at all. And I want women over 30 to know that you are not leftover. When you marry a woman who is older, 35 35 is not even that old. But a woman who is 30 and over, these women are not leftovers. These women bring a lot to the table. They are at the table. Women over 35 are not leftovers. These women are seasoned. They are the seasoning on the table. They are the table. If the table doesn't have seasoning, that's nothing. That's not a table. These women, they bring expertise. They bring experience. Believe me, a woman that is 30, they have a lot of experience. They have a lot of wisdom. They have a lot of knowledge that they bring to the table. They bring their income. They bring their skills to the table. This is somebody that already has a lot of experience. And when these women settle down, they are ready to settle for reals. They don't have time to play. These women, they're not leftovers. Don't feel bad because you're maybe 35 or you're almost 35 and you don't have a husband yet. God will send you a husband. A good husband comes from God. So keep praying for your Mr. Right, and your Mr. Right will come. Don't feel less of a woman because you don't have a husband or you don't have kids yet. People are different. Some women are having kids in their 50s, and you could even be married in your 20s, but you won't have a kid until when you're like 40 something or 30 something. Just because you are married, it doesn't mean you will have kids right away. And some people, they don't have kids because of choices, but other people, they just don't have kids because God has not blessed them yet. It's better for you to wait for your Mr. Right in your 30s than to get married in your 20s with Mr. Wrong. Because that one can have a negative impact on your life forever. Getting married to the wrong person. So you are not a leftover, my sister. You are seasoned. You are the seasoning. You are. Both of his marriages didn't work out. The man died on top of a 35 years old woman that he picked from the club. 35 years old woman that is not married. These women, Kevin calls them leftovers. So in the morning, he was calling women that are 35 or older, leftovers. And at night, he was busy eating those leftovers. And these are the people that are role models to some. He's teaching people what he's not living. He's been married twice and failed. But he's telling people to stay married and work things out. He calls women over 35 or 35 leftovers. But he's eating the leftovers. Sometimes people, we shouldn't idolize these YouTubers, celebrities, anybody that you see on the screen. Stop putting them here. Some of us, we see people on our screens, and we want to go to them for advice. We want to give them our money to invest for us. No, you don't know those people. Somebody might be teaching something that they're not even living, but they're just doing it because whatever they are saying is selling for them. This man job was to insult women. This man made women feel shameful and worthless because they were not married or they were not in a serious relationship at a certain age. All their accomplishment was worthless. He called these women any names that he wanted to call them. And the surprising thing is that these women went to his show by themselves. We can blame him all we want, but we also have to know that the women that were on his show were not forced to be there. These women, they called in. They went on his live and knew the kind of man he was, the kind of advice this man gives, but they continued because many of them wanted to hear the truth about themselves. Many of them wanted to hear a different perspective. They wanted the men to grade them. Maybe they were doing it for validation or whatever the reason was. These people went there or called in by themselves. Just because this woman went to him for dating advice, it doesn't mean that they should be talked to the way he did, but that's how he ran his show. I guess it is what it is. That is the kind of world we live in, a very sad world. And this world has no balance. It doesn't have balance. Who would have thought that a man like Kevin Samuels, a man that is well put together, a man that looks fit, a man that looks healthy, a man that dresses well, would just pass away like this? I didn't believe it. I was so surprised, and that is why I decided to do more research to see if it's true, because I couldn't believe it. It's like, even though I was not watching his videos every day, it seemed like, oh, this is somebody that I saw yesterday. No, this is impossible. He looked so good. He looked healthy. He looked good, well put together, polished. But sometimes we don't know what is going inside a person. You might see somebody standing and you think, oh, that person got it. But you don't know. You don't know their health. The fact that Mr. Samuels died in the arms of a woman that he had barely met should tell you something. This man was warning women over 35, if they don't get married, then they will die alone. And look what happened to him. He died alone in the arms of a stranger. I really feel bad for this woman. Imagine going to a guy's house and you had a one night stand, and the next morning or the next day the guy just passes away. You see how this can affect a person, or how this is affecting the woman. Because we are talking about Mr. Samuels, but we're not even thinking about the woman, how this passing of Mr. Samuels is affecting this woman. I really feel bad for her. This tells me that I should be careful of what I am putting out, the energy that I am projecting to the world. the legacy that I am creating, that I will leave behind. That is what we should be worrying about. This is not the time to laugh and celebrate about somebody's passing. This is about time to learn and reflect on your own life. Look at the things that you are doing. Him when he was alive. Now he cannot talk for himself. And this man has families. He has children. He has his mother. Let's respect his family, please. Two wrongs don't make right. We can talk bad about him all day long and he wouldn't change a thing. It's just like we are following his footsteps. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I wish you guys an amazing day filled with love, gratitude, and happiness. And I'll see you guys in the next video.